group 0 to 25 years, which means some female child may born with a tumor in the ovary, and these groups of tumor are the germ cell tumors. What are the germ cell tumors? Mostly we see the teratoma, which are the most common tumors of the ovary. We can see the dysgerminomas, a very important tumor of the ovary. Remember, this tumor has a counterpart in the male person, which is known as seminoma. So seminoma and dysgerminoma are absolutely similar tumors. When we see the same kind of tumor in the male, we call it a seminoma, and when we see these tumors in the female, we call it a dysgerminoma. Then we get something known as endodermal sinus tumors, and we get a choriocarcinoma of the ovary. So these are the germ cell tumors. There are some tumors we can see from the sex cord and stroma. So remember, these are the tumors I told you earlier, can produce varieties of hormones, and these hormones can be androgen or estrogen. We are more interested about the estrogen secreting tumors. So in these groups we can see the fibroma, granulosa theca cell tumors, and Sertoli lytic cell tumor. Please remember, the granulosa theca cell tumor, this is a tumor classically produce huge amount of estrogen, and this is our point of interest. I repeat again, this is our point of interest. So these are the three groups of tumor. In addition to that, we can get a metastatic tumors, which can be seen in all ages. It is mostly bilateral. It has to be bilateral, and the example of this tumor is a Krukenberg tumor, when we can see the metastasis to the ovary from stomach, breast, colon. These are the three important organs. I repeat the organs again: stomach, breast, and colon. Now, why you get ovarian tumor? There are so many theories are there, but it says that nulliparity plays an important role, along with the family history. Genes, which are the genes are important here? If you look at this picture, that I would like to tell you that you see something very interesting. Some of the ovarian tumor are familial, and familial ovarian tumors have an association with a BRCA1 and BRCA2 gene. If you recall that this BRCA1 and BRCA2 gene, these two genes are also responsible for the carcinoma of the breast. It means carcinoma of the breast has a connection with the carcinoma of the ovary. So I want you to remember this particular point. In addition to that, we can get a ERBB2 gene, KRAS, and TP53 gene as well. And this KRAS gene, presence of this gene suggestive that some of the ovarian cancer, as I said earlier, are adenocarcinomas, which are arising from the surface epithelium of the ovary. So once again, to review this thing, I'll start talking about the various epithelial tumors: benign, malignant, borderline. Whenever there is a tumor of the surface epithelium of the ovary, they produce a kind of cyst, and that is why cyst adenoma is an important word for a benign epithelial tumor of the ovary, and cyst adenocarcinoma is the malignant tumor of the ovary. So can you tell me what is the marker of these tumors? Yes, CA125. So please remember this. Now, since it is a surface epithelium, there is something very interesting about the surface epithelial tumors. There are some surface epithelial tumors has a capacity to change from one type of epithelium to the other type of epithelium. So let us see how does it look like. Now here is the surface epithelium again. As I was talking to you, that they have the capacity to become different type of epithelium. Now let us see what kind of features this epithelium may show. Some epithelium become, it looks like a epithelium of the fallopian tube, like which has got a tall columnar cells, which has got cilia. So this surface epithelium now will become like a epithelium of the fallopian tube, tall columnar cells with a lot of cilia. Now once it becomes like this epithelium, they produce a tumor, and then we call that tumor a serous tumor. Serous, A-C-R-U-S, which means if we get a serous tumor, that should have epithelium that look like a which tube? Fallopian tube. This is one type of tumor from the surface epithelium. From the surface epithelium we can get another type of tumor when the tumor has a epithelium which is almost like a endocervix. So what is endocervical epithelium? This endocervical epithelium is much larger. They are also columnar, but they contains some mucin inside their cytoplasm, or mucin secreting epithelium. Mucin secreting epithelium. And this epithelium once again can produce a tumor, then we call it a mucinous tumor. So they are mucin containing tumors. So from the surface epithelium we can see the serous tumor, we can see the mucinous tumors. Just for a nice to know understanding, some of the epithelial tumor may look like a transitional cells. So they become like a transitional cells, and they produce a tumor from these transitional cells, which is sometimes known as a Brenner's tumor. Brenner's tumor. So three types of tumor with the three different type of epithelium. Serous tumor, tall columnar ciliated epithelium like a fallopian tube. Mucinous tumors, columnar epithelium containing mucin, non-ciliated, you do not see a cilia there. And the Brenner's, when you can see the tumor composed of the transitional epithelium.